Freaking science is so amazing in how it can tell you the different diagrams of things that you don't think about. Like your body, for instance. Freaking lungs, man. They help you all the time. And you're like, what? It's insane to think of all the different things that have to happen for me to even make all these movements. And one of those cool little membranes in our lungs are known as pleura. Now, I don't know if King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard are scientifically adept or, you know, insanely knowledgeable, but it seems that they got the basic knowledge to title this song Pleura. And so, thinking about that definition and thinking about what this song really means is a fun exercise, which we're going to do today. It's the whole point of this whole thing. This song has such frantic energy, and it feels like it's ricocheting constantly, and it's rowdy, and it's so much fun to just have it just blasting back and forth. You have these really funny things too. One of my favorite details in songs like this is when they pause it, and you're like, "Is that it? Is it?" And you check. It's like, "Oh, I have two," and it just starts blasting again. Or alternatively, they have this sort of soft interlude that's sort of not all the way there, but it's just enough there that you're like, "Is it about to? Oh, it's about to come back in. It's charging up again. It's about to go down again." That was just something I noticed as I was listening to this song. Again, it's very just full of frantic energy that doesn't really seem to be wanting to calm down. And when you think about the lyrics on here, it makes sense. We hear this talk of crashing into someone's place via trapdoor, throwing up all over the floor, and this whole idea of having to assimilate and someone getting their blood like drinking of blood. This idea of imminent worship that is going to go nowhere because ultimately only really a necromancer will be able to dance on us all. I sort of look at this in like two different ways because it also does mention an orange baby. I feel like it's obvious what they're talking about. Like it seems pretty obvious who they're talking about. But if you look at it in terms of like necromancers and capitalism, which is two words you never thought would come together, but that's sort of essentially what it feels like, especially as the song references this idea of pulling one more Jenga piece, and the fragile world as we know it will completely collapse, even as it is currently literally happening. You know, literally happening right now. Even as it is collapsing, there will still be people who sort of worship these other humans that have transcended due to status or consider themselves transcendent due to their status and their elitism. That's why I think you get that line of talking about drinking the blood that you have spilled. It is these people who stand on this unethical consumption, aka there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. And when you have this Jenga piece, again, the world that we currently live in is quite literally, if not fragile, it is basically so close to shattering. If you don't want to consider it shattering right now, it is like if you blinked wrong at the mirror or the camera, it just gone completely. And in that same vein, we have this idea of trying to still maintain this illusion, this veil of normalcy. If we just simply, we have to assimilate. As long as we assimilate, the Jenga piece will stay, nothing will collapse. But it seems like King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard wants to pull that, wants to end that, because the song ends, the very last line before the song just slips right back into itself is, "I exercise my right to die," which seems incredibly morbid. Granted, death is pretty morbid, but I think considering, again, the pandemic that has ravaged the place and the various historical events that we constantly live, it wouldn't be remiss to say that exiting this universe and just not having to be a part of this is something that I feel like a lot of people can look at. Like if you just think about it as a metaphorical death, I want to separate myself from the toxic factors that this world continues to try to enhance and produce and say are great and grandeur, but they're really not. It's something that I don't think is literal. I think it's more metaphorical. Not saying like go jump off a cliff or something, but it's more just referencing this idea that I want to be separate. I don't want to be a part of this. Pull down the Jenga piece. Unveil the curtains. Shatter this frigid and destructive idea of normalcy so that in the reset, when this necromancer brings us back to life supposedly, then now there won't be this constant chugging, this constant derision, this constant hurt that bleeds through people who can't afford anything but major changes. And unfortunately, for any real, legitimate, tangible changes that can affect people in a positive manner, sometimes you need an extremity. You need those extremities to cease, to stop drinking the blood of others, to stop being babies throughout from cradle to grave. And yeah, it's something that is the lifeblood and something that is the very like crux of what helps you breathe. They're the two serious membranes that keep the lungs going, and the people are the serious membranes that keep the entire world kind of functioning in those smaller jobs that people don't consider to have any value outside of maintaining the status quo. And if those people left, everything could die. It's just I really love this song. I really love this song. Like you don't even have to look at it like that. You can just look at it as a chaotic, frenetic song that's just like
Everything is crazy. Everything is going down. This is the end. We can't scream it any louder than time.
and enjoy the song. I have fun. I have fun. I had fun listening to this. I felt myself just swinging around, just doing the little guitar thing. We're gonna pretend that my guitar case is not right next to me, glaring at me because the zipper actually stuck. Anyway, Pleura. It's a really interesting science thing that I didn't know until I used the tool of Google. Oops. I did a Google before I was supposed to do sashimi. Oh well, it's fine. You can still eat sashimi after you do. King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard are supposed to be releasing an album in about either 4 hours. I gotta hurry up and get this video out. Or 4 days. I cannot remember the date, which means editor me is gonna put it somewhere around me, and I'm gonna feel super, super dumb for not remembering. But they did announce that, and then they dropped this single, and it's cool. It's cool. It's got that same sort of pace and energy of the last single, but just done in a different way. And seems like this album, for one, King Gizzard Lizard Wizard, Jesus Christ, they never stop releasing albums. They just don't. They don't care. They will continue. It's incredible. Just the sheer output, for one. Like, you can never say there's not enough King Gizzard Lizard Wizard albums. Didn't they? I swear they released like 7 in 1 year, which is just unfathomable. But Pleura, King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. My pleura, they're working. I'm breathing. Well, this guy says pleura. No, not plural. Pleura. You know, it'd be funny if I was pronouncing this wrong the entire time. That would just be a good joke in itself. That'd be amazing. That writes itself. Let's have that write itself. remember to breathe and drink water, and well, I can't stay. Yeah, use your brain parts and your pleura, and your plurals are for sentences that are long, like this whole outro right now.